Hello, welcome to Halcyon Blink. My name is Leonides and I'm going to be your host for this episode. And on this edition, for the first time ever, I'm going to be not reviewing, but just using this as an opportunity to comment on a delectable topic that seems to be raging a little bit at the moment. Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem, a rap beef or rap feud that seems to be developing as the days go by, and I, for one, hope that this feud continues for a while because I don't think there's any danger of either of them pulling a gun on each other and killing each other, so we can just enjoy what is effectively a protracted real-time rap battle in the real world. For those of you who don't have proper context, recently, I must stress, I'm probably 4 or 5 years late to the game. Big fan of something called Dubstep, which is the UK, one of the UK rap battle leagues that exists within the UK to allow rappers an opportunity to battle each other for prestige, prominence, and to exhibit their skills in a way that means that the audience can have an opportunity to react to them in real time, the way that they flow, the way that they flip lines, construct raps in an attempt to try and demean and demoralize their opponent as much as possible. Now, when you apply this to the world of rap in terms of old school hip hop artists not liking each other to the extent of wanting to kill each other, then you have something sometimes that goes a little too far. Ergo, Tupac, Biggie, Nas and Jay-Z got personal for a while, but didn't ever threaten to become anything more than that. But still, it can have its limits of where it stops being entertaining. However, in the rare occasions where it is entertaining, it can be one of the great musical marvels. And in this case, Machine Gun Kelly has attempted to try and provoke Eminem into a response, successfully so. And in this case, I have to be honest, I've listened to them back to back on numerous occasions because even though inherently I'm more an Eminem fan than an MGK fan because I've never heard of him prior to the diss, whenever you listen to a battle rap, you have to listen to both rappers. You have to hear what they say, how the other one flips what they says, how the kind of rhymes that they put forward in terms of how complex they are, how clever they are, how well they hit, how well they perform. All of these things factor into the equation when you decide who's winning a rap battle. I'm still a neophyte when it comes to this whole thing, but broadly speaking, whenever I watch one of these rap videos on something like Don't Flop or King of the Dot in Canada, for instance, I can usually side with the people judging it in the sense that I would agree that that person won the battle. It's very rare that it's a contentious decision. Usually someone will take the cake, but even then it can just be a judgment of styles. However, when it comes to battling, when it comes to deciding who's won a battle, it always has to come down to the lyrical content, and that's where rap beefs tend to get a little dicey sometimes. And this is a prime example. Machine Gun Kelly released a song, Rap Devil, a few weeks ago. It is currently sitting at about 91, 93 million views on YouTube, so that's nothing to be sneered at. Wow. The song itself and the beat itself I actually quite enjoy. It's more rhythmic and a little bit more melodic than Eminem's diss track, Kill Shot. It has a better, it's a better song in general until you get to the lyrics of the song. And that's where Kill Shot, for my money, it can't be beaten.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
So if you just break down the presentation of each video, well, number one, Kill Shot is just a piece of artwork, a thumbnail, if you will, on the screen that plays throughout, whereas Machine Gun Kelly took the time and apparently, according to the diss track, got approval from P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or whatever the f his name is these days to go and record a music video to accompany the diss. In terms of what I thought stuck on the diss track of Machine Gun Kelly, he really only has 3 or 4 hooks and 3 or 4 points that he makes throughout the duration of the song. And as noted in Kill Shot, the contradiction between saying he's one of the greatest of all time, but this is why I have to destroy you, is kind of it's a dichotomy that I can't really resolve, and it doesn't really make much sense to me why you would do that if you're not just trying to protect yourself from the inevitable diss track that comes back to you, which really, I think, as much as Machine Gun Kelly might now be celebrating to say that he's got another opportunity to make some money and some more views.
Rabbit season! Duck season! Fire!
based on the songs themselves, and that's all you can do. You have to look into the complexity of the lines, the flips, which Machine Gun Kelly was always going to be at a disadvantage considering that he's the one who shot first, which means that Eminem has all the time in the world and as long as he wants to take to compile a response. And in the history of rap battles, the fact that he's responded in a relatively short amount of time is quite impressive. Most rap battles like this, or rap beefs like this, tend to go across a number of months, if not a year sometimes. I think that the Nas Jay-Z beef at one point had a period of maybe 5 or 6 months between the songs, which kind of illustrates just how quick Eminem works, and more to the point how eager he was to get this out considering the popularity of this Rap Devil track. But when you listen to the songs back to back, and that's imperative, you can't really listen to one more than the other, you have to listen to them on their both merits. Objectively speaking, it's very difficult to argue against the Killshot being the superior of the two tracks. I'm not saying it's any better to listen to than Rap Devil, because perfectly honest, the backing song itself is probably a little bit better. But the fact that Eminem has only released a thumbnail, has put together a song that sounds gritty, dark and menacing to a certain degree, and in the first 30 seconds of the song flips everything that MGK said, and I mean everything. People who are judging this based on the fact that MGK has the audacity to challenge Eminem and the fact that he's come out since and said, oh, the bars were weak and he missed and da-da-da-da.
When you look into it,
fine, but then you're not listening to the song and you're not appreciating the complexity of the rhymes once it's been. I've had to listen to the song numerous. This is the thing. Here's the distinction I would draw. MGK's song you only have to listen to really once to get the gist of most of the bars. You can understand where the jibes are coming from and why they're being directed. With Eminem, the second line, I believe, in fact, no, technically speaking, I suppose that's the first line. Rihanna just hit me on a text. Now, unless you know the context of that line's gonna go straight over your head. That isn't a diss, but that's a flip to something MGK accused Eminem of being, in terms of being timid, not being able to ask for Rihanna's phone number or hold her umbrella or something along those lines. It's amazing how he counteracts everything and then layers it on underneath. Now, again, this is probably to Eminem's detriment. A lot of what he says in the track is true, but the problem is that Eminem does have an accumulative 20 odd years in the business to be able to fall back on in terms of success and sales, which means that he can crush him in terms of look at how many albums I've sold versus you, this is how many fans I have versus you. That, it carries weight to a degree, but at a certain point, that's probably one of the weaknesses of the Killshot song, if you ask me, considering that his relevance has maintained steady over the course of the last 10 years or so. But that relevance and success doesn't guarantee victory, and it's not something you can just sit on your laurels and say, I'm the greatest and therefore I win. You do have to make sure that the jibes and the attacks are aimed at your opponent in such a way that they land properly, and I felt that those lines maybe did him a disservice there. But both of them are tremendously entertaining to listen to, and while I feel Eminem won this round, if there is a second round coming, we are in for an absolute treat, because MGK now has the opportunity to flip a lot of those lines, add a few lines of his own, bump up the production quality of his video if that's what he wants to do. I will concede as well that the MGK video is one of those kinds of videos I don't like, because it is that millennial style type of video. Why is he eating a bowl of cereal?
What? Why? Why?
Why is he carrying a shovel when he's in the middle of a road?
What the hell is that?
And why does he yell into the grill of a truck when he's talking about yelling into a mic? I don't know, but the point is that you can tell that video was put together reasonably quickly and maybe didn't have a tremendous amount of thought put into it. I think that the overarching goal of that original video was achieved. They got Eminem to respond. And that just perpetuates this, and it helps them both sell their albums. So while they can look forward to a bit more exposure and a hell of a lot of heat considering the nature of the argument, we can look forward to, fingers crossed, one of the great rap beefs of all time. If MGK can up his game and not just repeat everything he said in the first album, flip a lot of what Eminem said and then maybe add a few things on top, and then Eminem can come back with something that people will concede Killshot feels tame to a degree. There's only a couple of lines that really make people go, that was crazy. But again, within the context of, right, who got the better of the other rapper, it's undoubtedly Eminem, because I don't know if MGK really thought Eminem was going to respond. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left himself open as much as he did. I think he would have prepped more. I think he would have been slightly less repetitive and more inventive. But now he has the opportunity to fire back. Just depends on whether or not he takes that opportunity. So, have you listened to Kill Shot yet? Have you listened to Rap Devil yet? Have you any interest in rap? If so, leave your comments in the description below about what your favorite rap beefs are, what your favorite flips or lines are. For my money, in this battle, there's two. I couldn't believe it when he made the Pac reference. Tupac Shakur being killed in '96, I think it was. That line is insane.
Oh my god!
And it's probably going to get him into some serious trouble with some people, but I freaking love it. And also, I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you. I love that line just because of the way it flows and the truth behind it. The fact that he's just hit him with, listen, I don't care how relevant you think you are now, you will never be on my level, even when I'm 80 years old. Wow, that's a crazy line. As long as I'm shady, he's going to have to live in my shadow. Just, dearie me, dearie me. It's going to be something wonderful if there's a round two, and let's hope there's a round two. So, comment in the description below, or put your comments in the comment section below. Please, check out some of the other content creators as well in the description. Follow me on Twitter, and as always, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Halcyon Blake.
Obama out.